let me tell you a story. It's about a man named Elias, a prospector who had been digging for gold for 6 long months. Every single day, he'd pick up his shovel and attack the same patch of stubborn, rocky ground. His plan was simple: dig straight down. He was sure, with an unshakable certainty, that a vein of pure gold lay just a few more feet below. He poured all his energy, all his hope, into that single-minded goal. Then one day, it happened. With a sickening crack, his shovel snapped in two against a particularly stubborn rock. The handle splintered, the metal head useless. It was over. Elias stood there, staring at the broken tool. His mind flooded with rage, with despair. He cursed the ground, the rock, the universe itself, for its cruelty. He felt the crushing weight of his failure. 6 months of backbreaking labor, for nothing. His plan was shattered. The path forward was now a solid wall. This, right here, is the broken shovel moment. We've all had one. It's the job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the project that collapsed. It's that moment when the tool you were relying on to build your future breaks in your hands. What's our first reaction? It's exactly what Elias did. We stare at the break. We become paralyzed by the sheer fact of our misfortune. We fixate on the splintered wood and the useless metal. We get lost in a storm of what-ifs and if-onlys. If only the rock wasn't there. If only the shovel had been stronger. We pour all our precious energy into the one thing we absolutely cannot change: the past. This reaction is human, it's natural, but it is a trap. It's an energy leak that drains our spirit and leaves us feeling like victims, defined not by our own will, but by the break itself. But what if there's another way? What if true strength, true resilience, isn't about preventing the break, but about what you do right after? The ancient Stoics knew this. They taught that resilience begins with a profound and incredibly difficult pivot. It doesn't start with trying to fix the shovel. It starts with accepting that it's broken. It's a quiet, calm, and powerful acceptance of reality as it is. Just saying the words, "The shovel is broken," isn't a statement of defeat. It's a statement of liberation. It frees you from the prison of wishing things were different. It lets you stop fighting a battle that's already over. And once you accept reality, you unlock the most powerful question a human being can ask: what can I do now? This question shifts your focus from the unchangeable past to the controllable present. This is the heart of the Stoic dichotomy of control. You have to ruthlessly separate what is outside your power from what is within it. Elias couldn't control the rock in the ground. He couldn't magically mend his shovel. He couldn't get back the 6 months he'd spent digging. All of that was outside his power. But what was in his power? His perception, his creativity, and his very next action. Elias could no longer dig down. His primary path was gone. But here's the key. His belief that digging down was the only path was just that, a belief. An assumption. It wasn't a universal truth. And in that moment of forced stillness, with his primary plan in ruins, something incredible happened. He stopped staring at the hole in the ground. For the first time in months, he looked around. His eyes fell upon the enormous pile of dirt and rock he had cast aside, the waste from his 6 months of digging. He'd been so focused on what was an asterisk to the ground, that he never once considered what was in the pile he had already created. And this is where the universe hides its greatest secret, wrapped up in this simple fable. The obstacle is the way. The very thing that stopped him in his tracks, the broken shovel, was the catalyst for his salvation. It forced him to abandon his obsessive, single-minded tunnel vision. It forced him to look up, to look out on, and to see what had been there all along. He walked over to the pile of discarded earth. Out of sheer habit, or perhaps a flicker of new curiosity, he picked up a handful of dirt and let it run through his fingers. And then he saw it. A tiny, unmistakable glint of yellow gold. He frantically started sifting through the pile. It was everywhere. Not a massive vein deep underground, but small, scattered flecks mixed in with the very dirt he had been tossing away as worthless. The gold was never in the hole. It was always in the pile he had ignored. He had been sitting on his fortune for months, but he was too blind, too fixated on his one rigid plan, to ever see Italiano. The limitation, the broken shovel, wasn't a prison wall. It was a doorway. The failure of his plan was the necessary ingredient for his ultimate success. This is what true resilience looks like. It's not about being so strong that you never face hardship. It's not about having a shovel that never breaks. It's the profound, uniquely human flexibility to adapt, asterisk after asterisk we have broken. It's the ability to see a dead end not as the end of the journey, but as a mandatory turn. Your broken shovel, whatever it is in your life right now, That failure, that loss, that obstacle, it is not the end of your story. It's an invitation. It's the universe forcing you, with love and a bit of tough luck, to stop digging in the same damn hole. It's forcing you to look at the pile you've created, the experiences you've had, the skills you've gained along the way. It's an invitation to finally stop digging and start sifting. Because sometimes, the gold isn't where you think it is. It's in the lessons you learned while you were failing. Thanks for watching.